So
Say it
here
again.
goes the thing.
Yes.
So I explained to you
Mm-hmm.
why buying a call
Mm-hmm.
is the same thing as selling a put,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and buying a put is the same thing as selling a call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because when you're selling, you're acting like an insurance company.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yes. So the insurance call. So you're, for example, the insurance company. I pay you a premium yearly, maybe, or all 6 months. I don't know how it works. And then when you get an accident, I pay you the accident.
Yes. But the way you solve that is because not everybody's going to have the accident the same day.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you make a calculation based on that. I diversify my risk, and I'm able to charge you the premium.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So usually in markets, you need to know where the fear is. You only make money out of fear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Go deeper, please, bro.
I'll go deeper. Suppose the market went from 100 to 70. It dropped 30%.
Yes.
What is the biggest fear?
That it's going down still more. That will go down.
There you go.
Down.
There you go. So when you're at that point of fear, it makes money for you to start selling insurance by selling put. Because people will pay you a high premium because they think this is going down 100%, which can never happen. But at that moment,
you think it's only a fall down.
So when you were at March, 23 of March, the VIX was 80%. So the market was already 30% down. And the VIX, which is the price of covering against a market crash, was at $80. Was at 80. It's just a number. What that means is people were expecting the market would go down 80% more before the end of the year. It already went down 30%. So you're thinking it's going to go down 80% more. Not possible.
Impossible. Okay.
So what do you do there? People who have the guts and the money to take that risk, because you cannot always do it. And it's pretty simple to talk about it, but it's very hard to actually do it.
To act.
Those are those moments where you say, okay, I'm getting it, because those stocks are cheap because the fear is so high. I can either sell put or buy stocks, which is the same.
Or buy a call.
Or buy a call. But the thing is, you would be paying so high for the premium of the call. But it's okay. You can buy a call. But usually those are those moments where if you can find a very interesting selling option strategy, it pays a lot to be selling options at that moment.
But, I want to understand more about the fear when you said...
I'm telling you. So, you know who the Baron de Rothschild was from England?
Rothschild?
Yes.
Family, yes.
Okay. So he had a say, when there's blood on the street, buy.
When there's blood on the street, buy.
Okay. What does that mean? That means usually in stock market, you make big money being a contrarian by going against the fear. When markets are crashing,
instead of selling, you need to buy.
Exactly. And when markets are going up, people are afraid that they're missing opportunities. So the biggest fear is on the other side. You understand?
I need to sell, maybe.
There you go.
It's like, sell on good news, buy on bad news.
That's exactly what it is. So you need to, but you need to connect to the level of fear. Because there's always fear driving market. And it's the only two fears. People call it fear or greed. I don't call it fear or greed. I call it fear of losing more because it's going down, or fear of losing more because it's going up and I didn't buy.
So it's like about More,
it's always this.
More losing or more gaining.
Exactly. I'm losing because it's going down and I am in it. I'm losing because it's going up and I didn't buy. It's one fear. It's the fear that I'm going to lose.
So being a contrarian, you can make money.
Exactly. Being a contrarian, having capital and patience to be a contrarian, most likely you will be on a good side. But what's the problem? The problem is you need to adapt to reality, because right now you might say the market is going up. Okay? But everybody thinks it's going down. Exactly. People are not complacent yet. I mean, you didn't get to that point where everybody thinks it will only go up, because we're still afraid of COVID. So you're not at that point yet where the excess is on the other side. People are still afraid that it's going down. So you need to time those points. But what I'm talking about is not easy. But the reason I was saying that is, if you're thinking of a selling strategy for options, the moment you start using derivatives, you will start to understand about fear, because you need to be pricing that in. When you're selling options, you're like an insurance company. So you need to be selling at the worst time of the market, where people want to cover, the biggest fear they have. Usually fear is a very good guide of where the money is. You go against it.
Just go against it. Okay.
Just go against it. I'm telling you, right now, what is the biggest fear of the world? What is the biggest fear?
Losing jobs, maybe. Losing their job.
Losing their job, okay? That means the economy is not going well. You understand? We still have a vaccine that we don't know if it's true or not. So that tells you it's not the downside yet. We're not going down because there's so much fear already of going down. When is it likely that you will go down? I will tell you. When the vaccine is out, when the pandemic is not a problem, when everybody says, yes,
we out of fear, then being a contrarian, you need maybe to sell.
You understand? So betting against the market right now is very, it's difficult. Because you have to think contrarian, because you have to go against the fear. There will come a time where people will be afraid that the market is going up and they didn't invest, and they will put everything they have in it so they can get a piece. That's when you need to start thinking different. But for now, the trend is up. For how long, I don't know.
Wow.
Where is the biggest fear? The biggest fear is market is going to crash. Still. You talk to anyone, everyone think, even the people that are inside the market think the market is going to crash. So when is it most likely, if you think like a contrarian, when is it most likely that it's going to crash?
When you think everything it's now solved, the vaccine is working, pandemic it's not a question anymore. We can go out, we can go to the events and whatever. And then
you start to be thinking, okay, let's be careful there. Okay? But even then, it's not sure that you're just go and buy and be betting that it's going down. You need to be careful. So right now you need to be careful of betting that the market is going down, because
I don't know, maybe it's a wrong example. If it's wrong, delete it. It's like when you're an artist and you're on the highest point and you think, okay, I'm the greatest one, nothing can happen, and then all of a sudden all the way down.
Yes.
Okay. Being a contrarian of the fear.
Being a contrarian and knowing where your fear is. Everybody is afraid. I mean, there are certain things that makes us human. It doesn't matter where you are, what education you have, what money you have, what color you have, what height you have. Everybody is afraid and everybody feels pain. That's it. Those two things will always guide you. And you help people solve the things they're afraid of, you build an incredible product. Okay? and you have people solve their pain, you build an incredible product. That's from an entrepreneur. From an investor point of view, you have people solve their pain, you know what position to take because you take contrary to the biggest pain point, to the biggest fear. You always try to position yourself against the fear as an investor.
Not against the market, against the fear.
Against the fear. Understand? Markets are going down. Fear is to the highest. I go against the fear. I buy. Market is going up. The fear of missing out is higher. You start to be thinking, I'm selling. But from building a product point of view, it's the contrary. People are afraid of something. You try to build a product that takes that fear away. And the bigger the fear you take away, the higher the margin of your product to make money. You understand? The way I see this world is built is, if you want to do anything worthwhile, it's about helping people make their life easier and to get compensated for that. You understand? As an investor, you get compensated for taking the contrary position of most people looking to get out or get in. You provide that service. You go against the flow at the critical point. And if you're building product, it's about thinking, how do I build something to solve your problem? To solve your fear or take away your pain? You understand? In both cases, it's the same. You get rewarded based on how much you help your surrounding solve and pain. That's the way I look at it. It's not always easy because you're part of it, so you feel the same fear and you feel the same pain. Investor, it's pretty hard to be buying when everybody is selling. Really hard. But you can build algorithm to do that for you if you cannot handle it, which is always do that.
That's your part that you're doing.
Always refer to that. But the thing is to actually build, some people don't do it that way. But for me, for actually to get to an algorithm, I have to feel the pain so I can understand what to solve with the algorithm, you know?
So you need to go through the pain yourself.
Usually when I look at algorithms, I look them at as helping me be better rather than, I used to think that I could just design them and they solve everything. Right now, you get mixed result. I got mixed result. Right now, I see them more like enhancing you as a decision maker rather than making the decision for you. That's how I use algos lately. You know, that I completely changed my design concept because I understand human being as something that I don't think machine can have for now. That's not a discussion I want to have right now. But what I'm trying to say is my design thinking used to be design machine so they can take care of everything for themselves. Right now, I'm more like, let's design to help me better. You know? So for now, the algorithms I'm designing, I haven't designed trading algos for the last, let's say, 7 years. And now the algos I'm designing, they're all about how to help me do things better rather than getting the algo work by themselves.
Wow.
You know, so it's like how the algo will correct certain flaws that I have rather than get the algo running by itself. You know, it's like more like you're running a car and you have machines helping you stabilize at the curves, things like that, rather than have an autopilot.
Okay.
So the approach I'm taking right now is more like a symbiosis between human and machine, which is not the way I approach it like 7 years ago.
But through the process, through the time, maybe you saw another possibility.
That's where I'm heading right now, and I'm really enjoying it. You know, I'm really enjoying that aspect of it. But the thing is, it's a very painful process because the way I used to design before is, since I don't want to go to the pain, lets me look at data, build some machines, and let the machines, and then I observe the machines. Right now, it's not the way I'm looking at it. Right now is I'm actually in the situations. I'm seeing my flaws, going through the pain of, oh, those are my flaws. Oh, those are the things I don't understand. Oh, those are the things where I systematically make a mistake. So I have to really look at it and go through the pain of it, and then wanting to go out of the pain. And my solution is designing an algo.
Wow, man.
Okay, so it's a very different approach I'm taking, but I think that's an approach I'm really enjoying more than before, because my approach before was based on fear. So how can I make a machine do the things I'm afraid of doing, and I never go through the experience? Right now is I'm going through those experiences, but I see where I need help. Let me build the help as an automation tool.
Wow, that's big, bro.
Yeah, at least for me, that was a very big shift, because it takes the human where it should be. You need to be responsible for the outcomes of your decisions. When your mind is at that point, I think you're more creative, at least. But I'm not saying it's that way for everybody. I'm just talking about the personal process.
But for yourself,
Yes.
Wow, brother, thank you so much, man. Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's why I do not believe in throwing data and letting the algo find it. No, I have what I want the machines. I know what I'm doing, and I know where I need help, and I'm designing based on what I need. And I'm not telling the machine find a solution for me. I say, I need you to help me do this better. I am very specific what I want you to help me do better.
And now, how can I do it better? And that's
because I know for me, this is where it doesn't make sense to train myself to do that part better, because it's so mechanical. But I can automate it with a machine. And the part that is still the higher creativity, I keep with myself. And I'm responsible for the end result. I mean, winning or losing, it's still me, but you have those machines helping you getting there better in a more balanced way, and maybe faster. But I still think that the faster comes from you understanding how to get there. So I'm really enjoying that part of design. But it went to a lot of pain. I had to go through a lot of pain, of losing a bunch of money and in a way that I shouldn't have. But I made a lot of money as well in a way that I didn't expect to. And I say, okay, so this is the process. Boom, boom. And then you learn. And then you bring the machine in, and then you'll keep going. But the pain is unavoidable. You cannot avoid the pain of that design process. At least that's my decision when I'm going through. That's why I'm enjoying much more the relationship.
Because you're going through the pain. Even if it's, but at the same time, you're enjoying the pain and say, okay, well, that's the pain. How
do I solve it? The root cause.
There you go. Where started from? From this one, I made this choice, and I said
exactly. And it's becoming very enjoyable.
Yes.
Because since I cannot avoid the pain, at least I give some sense to why I'm going through the pain to design better.
At least you have something, to laugh about. Well, it's a pain.
At least I can say, what? It's because I'm trying to design better.
Wow, brother, thank you so much, man. Wow. Okay.
But the thing is, like I'm saying, it's okay to buy options, but if you're gonna sell options, you have to be pretty clear why you're doing it and have a system to. But I think it's an incredible business. I mean, I think selling options, especially selling fear options, is an incredible business. I mean,
maybe right now selling option, maybe it's not right.
No, you may be selling. I mean, you may be selling put.
Maybe selling put, yeah, that's going up.
You understand what I mean? But the thing is, they're paying high premium right now. I mean, it's between 20 and 25 the VIX. And you have the Fed saying, "I'm gonna print until the world ends." But I'm not saying to do it. I'm just saying understanding those relationships.
Why?
Where the fear is usually a big approach into market. You start with the biggest fear. Try at least to position yourself against the biggest fear. Right now, the biggest fear is still the market is going to crash. It's less than in March, but it's still the biggest fear.
So go for example to a call.
It's most likely that still this is now when the VIX is at 12 or at 11, then I'll be careful. But now it's still 20. I think on Friday it was still 20. And why is that hard? And I'm telling you again, is because you have to not be selfish. Okay? Mm-hmm. Because when
it's
you
a fight against your ego also.
It's against what you would do normally. Because if everybody is afraid, mm-hmm. and you're the only guy saying, let me help you take your fear away, you get to buy some pretty interesting at a very cheap price. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because you're providing a service of liquidity. Mm-hmm. You're providing people a way out. But you have to run your business in a way that you can be at that position and not be like everyone else at that moment trying to sell. Mm-hmm. Now, what I'm saying is very ideal, is very abstract. You can never be that precise. Otherwise, you would be
a millionaire.
Mistake. Exactly. No, millionaire you can be. We're talking about billion. Million you can make, but billion is something, it's a different game. You know what I mean? Million is a one level, billion is something else. And you don't get to a billion by making more millions. At least I realized that.
Wow, that was
you need to shift the thinking.
Yes, think different.
You need to think different. I mean, you don't get to a million to a billion by doing the same thing you were doing, making a million. I mean, what you do is you make a million this year, you lose, you make another million. Now, if you want to make billions, you need to completely shift how you approach things. Mm-hmm. Okay, but that's not the conversation we're having. The conversation we're having is about understanding that positioning yourself mm-hmm. to help people solve their fear and their pain is the best position to be in life, because you get compensated to bring those solutions out.
Entrepreneurs do that all the time, trying to
do it.
That's solving a problem.
Exactly. And investors, the same thing. Okay? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. People, when you help people solve their fear by going against by taking the position contrary to the biggest fear, mm-hmm. that's what you're compensated. Sometimes people are afraid that the market is going down. Sometimes people are afraid that the market is going up and they're not in it. You need to know where that fear is. And first, that's the big position you put yourself in.
Wow. That was really intense.
Yeah, it's intense, but I think it's as intense as the pain I go through to understand those things. And I think every human being...
What's your biggest pain right now, if I can ask you? Right now, at the moment, your biggest pain?
I mean, my biggest pain is always when I make mistakes. I mean, there's no way out of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like every situation I'm in, I can always trace to that one decision when I didn't have the right setting mm-hmm. to solve. Mm-hmm. And then the whole process of going through, okay, how can I avoid this at a personal level, family level, friendship level? You know, it's like I really use pain as the guiding line of how I get to the root cause. It's not easy to do it, you know, but it's like it's always tough for me to make mistakes, because you say, wow, okay, I have to go through the whole process of understanding, where did I get there? How did I get there? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when you're a designer, I think what you can do then, you design a machine to actually, if it's something systematic, mm-hmm. okay, how can I use those guidelines, those warning signs, and I'll automate those warning signs to take care of it for myself. You know, I have very big. That's why even if we have some models that show that we literally have 25 years mm-hmm. to completely change the way we build product in the world. I mean, we have literally 25 years to completely reshape the way the whole production matrix of the world works. Otherwise, by 2100, this planet can be in big trouble. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, someone can listen to that news and be depressed, but I'm not, because actually what it makes me understand is that understanding of the process of how you can use design mm-hmm. to help you accelerate the things you do well and reduce the things you don't do that well, mm-hmm. and go through that iterative process constantly, make me think that 25 years can be enough to come with jumps in solutions. if you use that interaction machine human with that understanding, and I'm saying that the human is still responsible for outcomes, but you can design in a way to help you, maintain balance and take care of the things accelerate the things you do well and help reduce your mistakes. Maybe I'm just lying to myself, but at least that's what keeps me going.
That's great. That's something that everybody needs at the end.
And it helped me frame the pain I go through.
But that's something beautiful, because you know why you're doing that. You know the why. You know the reason.
Yeah, and we're trying to make sense of all the pain going through the world right now, and all the pain individually and collectively we're going through. It's like I'm trying as much as I can to understand. Okay, so what's the big thing? There is a technique you can use when you go through pain to actually accelerate the process of getting to the root cause. So when something painful is happening, you can ask the question, what is the question that pain is answering? Let's say I have a question. I don't know what the question is. And the pain I'm going through is the answer for that question. So you do the other way around. So that pain is telling me the answer for what question?
So you need to find out the question.
You just need to find the question. And when you find that question, that is the root cause that you need to solve. Okay? It's like, let's say,
make an example.
Yeah, of course. You get out with a girl. You go out with a girl.
Yes. Great.
You were not sure if that's the girl for you. You had many signs why it might be or why it might not be. And then you get to a point, you get to a very painful situation where the relationship is destroyed. Now, when you're going through it, you feel like you're the worst. You feel like this is not, I feel the world doesn't make sense. This is an ending. And then you say, that pain I'm going through of that breaking up with that person, what question is it answering? Well, you might say at the first, it's answering, was that person for me or not? At least it's answering that for you. That's one level of question. You might get another level of question is, should I trust my feelings when I'm not sure or not? Well, that's on second level. It's telling you, yeah, you may trust your feeling. And now you may ask yourself, what was my feeling based on? What was the things I was looking at that didn't make sense and I didn't know if to follow them or not? And then you start taking note. When you see this, maybe those are warning signs. And you write them down for the next encounter, because you will have to keep relating to people. You will have to keep making decisions. You say, oh, at least when I see those signs, do they make sense to take them as warning signs? Because I'm going actually telling me you should have, or maybe you shouldn't. And you keep going. You understand? It's like, that's how, at least when you go through that pain, you make some use of it. What is this pain the answer for? What question is this thing answering for me? What question is this thing answering for me? And when you go through that process, you go back to your decisions, you might encounter very interesting things that you solve from the root cause by changing decision, or you design something like I like to do. Solve it in a systematic way. Now, is that the formula for success? I don't know what success is, but at least it's interesting.
I don't remember, but Winston Churchill said something about success. I don't remember the quote anymore, but success, it's like, learning every day. That's success.
Yeah.
Understanding.
I'm telling you, man. I think I'm so in pain when I see so many people define success like being Jeff Bezos. That's so sad. Or being like Steve Jobs. That's so sad. That was Steve Jobs' success and Jeff Bezos' success. What about being you, man?
Yeah. So what's your success?
Yeah.
Maybe that's exactly the part of people trying to be a second Steve Jobs, a second Jeff Bezos, a second Bill Gates. But
what a boring life. I look at the life of all those guys. I see it so boring. You see what I mean? Can you imagine if I see it so boring? You understand?
Or Elon Musk, your guy that you like.
I mean, I would say I like it. I say I respect his tenacity.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But the thing is, my interests are not the same.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's boring for me. You imagine if I would spend my life chasing
second Amazon.
Yeah, chasing the problem those guys are chasing, which are not an interest for me.
Because they're also not your problem, maybe.
That's not exactly. And that's why I'm saying I see their lifestyle as so boring, because I have things that interest me. And as long as I can live my life in a way that I keep working on those things, that's my definition of success. It's interesting. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because I think it's tough enough to wake up in the morning and trying to make decisions and accept the consequences of your own decision, then mm-hmm. you would again add to it trying to be someone else. I mean, why would you do something like that to yourself? Mm-hmm. You're trying to have a nervous breakdown if you're trying to do something like that. You understand? It's enough for me to try to figure out how to make my best decision. And imagine if, based on that, there is a joke that I heard the other day, which is the best joke for me. Mm-hmm. So there was a guy that was trying to sell Bibles. Mm-hmm. Okay? So he decided to hire people. And there are two guys that came that say they want to sell the Bible. One guy was a very good, talk sleek, talk sharp, talk very well. Mm-hmm. And the other one, like that. Okay? Uh-huh. So the guy say, okay, I just want to sell Bible. I don't know which one is the best sales guy. I'll just give it to both of them. 1 week later, the guy that talks smoothly sold 5 Bibles. And like that, sold 25 Bibles.
Oh my God.
And he asked him,
How
did you do it? He said, it's very simple. I knock on the door, and I say, this is a Bible. Do you want to buy it, or do you want me to read it to you?
Oh my God. Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
So everybody say, let me buy it.
Like to escape that he's reading to me. No, I will buy it. No problem, man.
So now, what is the deeper understanding?
That he understands that he has an issue.
He accepts who he is.
Oh my God, that's right.
By accepting what makes him different, the guy created a competitive advantage against everyone else.
Wow.
By accepting what makes you unique.
Exactly.
That's how you build your strength. Now, if you're losing your time trying to see why this guy is this, why this guy is that, you're losing the game.
Living a second life on other.
Imagine if this guy was reading how to sell books. He cannot sell books like anyone else. Those bestsellers, how to be a good salesman, don't work for him because he cannot talk. So what did he do? He looked, who am I? Why am I unique? And I make that my strength. Even if people laugh about why you're different, but you use that. They cannot copy it.
Oh my God. You can be an actor, you know that?
We work on that. But it's incredible. Listen, I got that message. I say, oh my God.
Yes, man. Because maybe all the people would be afraid going there and said, man, I cannot talk. I cannot take a word out of my mouth, So how can I sell a book? But this guy did completely opposite of the fear.
Because he accepts who he is.
He accepts who he is. He had because maybe he had also those fear, because I think he thought about it that I cannot worry about, and he did the opposite of the fear.
Opposite of the fear. Embrace what makes you different. And this is the approach that I take now from designing. Before, when I used to design algorithms, I used to design algorithms to take away my fear. Right now, it's more, I understand what I'm better at, what I'm not that good at, but I accept them and work on my strength. Works on what make me different. And take the machine, help me solve the things that I cannot be that good as fast. But the things that make you unique, embrace them. Because usually those things that make you unique, you know what they are, because people laugh at you because you're that way. You understand? Let's say you're a guy that usually, wherever you're in a situation, the first thing you always see was how this thing can go wrong. People say, you know what, bro? I mean, stop. I mean, you cannot live like that.
Be positive.
Be positive. I don't know what that means, be positive, because I don't know what negative is neither. Somebody say, yeah, be positive. Say, yeah, bro, you're not looking at what can happen. Okay? Now, you can use that as a tool. You understand? Go wrong, and what I do about that. Or let's say you're a guy that you always think things will go right, and people say, bro, you're too naive. Why don't you be a grown-up, be an adult? Okay, you try to be an adult, you know, you dream less, and then your life is miserable. You know, but we say, but okay, I'm a dreamer. So how do I solve that? How do I use being a dreamer, you know, into a business? Well, you go to Silicon Valley and you raise money on a dream.
That would be a great Instagram quote, you know, on Instagram. Wow.
But what I'm trying to say is because that joke was incredible for me. I mean, do you want to buy or me to read it to you?
Oh no, I buy it, man. Oh my God, incredible, man.
Bro. So I think I think that part that we talk about, you know, making decisions through using pain and using fear, even in that joke, you can see it. You understand? The guy he's afraid that people laugh at him, and he used that fear to laugh on the other side and sell Bible.
Wow, man. Wow.
And now you ask the question. The joke's on you.
Wow. Brother, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much.
Take care, bro.
Take care. Bye-bye.